Hello, thanks for joining us again on the channel. I've always been curious about this one, and now that a friend picked one up, we can finally talk about it. His experience, start to finish. Quick note before we begin. There's a discount link in the description and the top comment if you want to check it out. Now let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
To get things started, let's hear from our first reviewer.
This reviewer initially felt that their new curved gaming monitor was an unbelievable value right out of the box. That feeling soured, however, when the unit began to randomly shut itself off. For a while, unplugging and replugging the power cord would bring it back to life, but the problem persisted. Eventually, not long after sharing their initial frustrations, the display failed completely and would no longer power on at all. Fortunately, the manufacturer was able to repair the unit at no cost to the client. After getting the repaired monitor back, our reviewer's experience improved dramatically. They noted that it was their first time using a DisplayPort connection, which proved to be far more stable and reliable than HDMI. The screen itself boots up in just a few seconds, and the colors appear vibrant and impressive. The biggest highlight was the high refresh rate, which they described as a total game changer for fast-paced titles. The extra fluidity in motion made it difficult to go back to a standard 60Hz experience, making gameplay incredibly smooth. However, the experience wasn't perfect. Our reviewer noted that the advertised refresh rate wasn't an option, with the system instead offering a lower or a much higher setting. The higher option introduced noticeable ghosting. Furthermore, content running at a lower frame rate could appear somewhat jittery on the high refresh screen. They also observed that at a 1080p resolution, individual pixels and aliasing were visible from a normal viewing distance. While this client ultimately enjoys the monitor when it's working, the initial hardware failure left a lasting negative impression, and they would be hesitant to purchase from the same brand again.
Starting things off, our first reviewer gives us their perspective.
This reviewer found this gaming monitor to be a fantastic piece of kit, especially for its intended purpose. Our reviewer was pleasantly surprised to discover that its performance capabilities actually exceeded the specs listed on the box, allowing for an even higher refresh rate once he got into the display settings. When paired with a powerful graphics card, the gameplay experience was described as absolutely smooth, and he noted that the panel is surprisingly sharp for its resolution class. It can even support higher dynamic resolutions for an even crisper image. On the visual front, the colors can seem a little flat straight out of the box, so some tweaking might be needed. This client pointed out that it's certainly not a display for professional post-production work like color grading or video matching, but he doubts anyone is buying it for that reason anyway. A more significant drawback was the viewing angles. The image tends to wash out unless you are positioned directly in the center. This is a common compromise for displays in this category, but it's an important consideration. The primary ergonomic issue was the stand, which lacks height adjustment. For a taller person, this meant an uncomfortable downward viewing angle, a problem that would require a separate monitor arm to fix. However, the physical design wasn't all negative, as our reviewer was extremely impressed with the very thin bezels, which give it a sleek and immersive look. Ultimately, this client would absolutely recommend this monitor. For gamers who prioritize high frame rate performance above all else, it checks all the right boxes. It delivers a premium, responsive gaming experience without forcing you to empty your wallet, making it a purchase he feels others won't regret.
Wonderful. Now, let's explore the feedback from our next reviewer.
This reviewer found themselves in a fortunate position, needing a screen to pair with a hand-me-down PC they were gifting to a deserving child. Initially, the intention was simply to find something inexpensive to complete the setup. This client casually browsed online and landed on this monitor, expecting it to be a temporary solution. However, the experience was far from what they anticipated. This monitor proved to be surprisingly impressive, so much so that our reviewer seriously considered keeping it for themselves and passing on their existing, more established screens. The quality and performance were genuinely envy-inducing. The client was so impressed that they immediately ordered the larger version of this monitor for their own gaming rig. The new screen is on its way, and they are excited to set it up, even going so far as to suggest that prospective buyers should skip the Samsung G9 altogether and opt for this brand instead. It seems this monitor offers exceptional value for the money, exceeding expectations, and ultimately proving to be a fantastic purchase. If you're looking to get your money's worth, this is definitely a valid option, according to our reviewer.
And that's a wrap. If this video was helpful, like and subscribe. Got questions? Let's chat in the comments. See you soon.